Lou. Ito ng project ID mo. Good afternoon po.
Good afternoon.
Welcome po sa DPWH Sorsogon 2nd, Payawing Gubat, Sorsogon. Today is February 13, 2024. Scheduled for today's pre-bid conference is for the project 24FL0054 with contract name Construction of Flood Mitigation Structures along Barangay Calao, Prieto, Diaz, Sorsogon, Barangay Calao, Prieto, Diaz, Sorsogon. Present here today for today's pre-bid conference are the following: Erwin S. Encinares, back chairman; Dave Almilla, back member; Bernadette D. Laguna, back member; Hazel Joy Rocha, from planning section; Nathaniel B. Alegre, back secretariat; Christian Austria, IT. Mr. Chair, for today's pre-bid conference, meron na po tayong quorum at wala po present na contractor here today.
Okay, good afternoon. Since we have a quorum, this pre-bid conference is now called to order. And the agenda for this pre-bid meeting are as follows: the basic contract data, the guidelines in submission of bids, the requirements of bidding documents, eligibility criteria, the documents to be submitted by the bidder, including the technical and financial proposals, the criteria and procedures for eligibility check, preliminary examination of bids, detailed evaluation of bids, post-qualification, and award. Question and comments from bidders and replies of BAC and other representatives of the procuring entity. The summary proceedings, including the bid bulletin to be issued and other matters. To discuss to us the basic contract data is Engineer Hazel Joy Rocha.
Thank you, sir. For the basic contract data of contract ID 24FL0054, we have contract name of Construction of Flood Mitigation Structures along Barangay Calao, Prieto, Diaz, Sorsogon, with contract location at Barangay Calao, Prieto, Diaz, Sorsogon. Brief description: construction of flood mitigation structures. Approved budget for the contract is 99 million pesos. Source of fund is the FY 2024 GAA, with contract duration of 310 calendar days, and the cost of bidding documents is 50,000 pesos only. Submission of bids is scheduled on February 27, 2024 until 10 a.m. and opening of bids shall proceed immediately after closing receipt of bids. Major category of work is FCBPX. Shown is the sample for the bill of quantities as well as the bid data sheet. Ito po ay downloadable to the DPWH website or the field jobs. For the minimum manpower requirement, for the project manager, minimum years of similar experience is 5 years, project engineer 5 years, materials engineer 3 years, safety health officer 1 year, general construction foreman 3 years, and no applicable minimum years of experience for the skilled workers as well as the laborers. Para naman po sa minimum equipment requirement, for the water truck or pump, required number of units is 1 unit, dump truck is 2 units, payloader 1 unit, backhoe 1 unit, backhoe wheel-mounted 1 unit, motorized road grader 1 unit, vibratory roller 1 unit, concrete vibrator 2 units, chainsaw 1 unit. For bar cutter 1 unit, bar bender 1 unit, 1 bagger mixer 3 units, crawler crane 1 unit, vibro hammer 1 unit, welding machine 1 unit, cutting outfit 1 unit, and plate compactor 1 unit. Shown is the sample naman po for the special conditions of contract. And we have here the cover page of the plan, as well as the location map, key map, and vicinity map of the plan, and some typical details for the slope protection plan, and as well as the pile cast and mga details po para sa ating pipe culvert. For the next slides, it will be presented to us by Engineer Almeida.
Submission and receipt of bids. Bid should be submitted to the back office on the date, time, and either its physical address or through online submission specified in the instruction to bidders. We will follow the two envelope system where the eligibility and technical requirements are enclosed in one envelope, and the financial requirements in another envelope. Eligibility and technical envelope and financial envelope shall be enclosed in one single envelope. So, ayan po, eligibility and technical, isang envelope. Yung financial po, isang envelope po. Din nakalagay din po sa isang mother envelope. Ang bid validity po natin is 120 calendar days. For original bid nga po, ganyan po, each envelope shall contain the name of the contract, the bid, name, and address of the bidder, recipient bank, procuring entity, and the markings do not open before date, time of opening of bids. For copy, ganyan din po. Lahat po yan, yung original and yung copy, ay nakalagay po ulit sa isang envelope. At lahat nakamark din po ng do not open before the date and time of the opening bid as per instruction in the instruction to bidders. Po. Sealing and marking of bids. Unsealed or unmarked bid envelopes, or in case of electronic submission not compressed, archive folders, and not password protected, are rejected. Improperly sealed and marked bid envelopes or not properly compressed and password protected will be accepted, provided that the bidder or its authorized representative shall acknowledge such condition of the bid as submitted. The bank assumes no responsibility for the misplacement of the contents of the improperly sealed and or marked bid for its premature opening. Bidders shall submit their bids through any of the above-mentioned online or electronic facilities at any time before the closing date and time specified in the bidding documents. Electronic submission of bids, two-factor security procedure, archive, and password protected, allows access to a password protected bidding documents. Password shall be disclosed by the bidders only during the actual opening bids, capable of generating an audit trail of transactions. Bids submitted after the deadline shall not be accepted. The bank secretary shall notify in writing all bidders whose bid it has received through its PhilJEP's registered physical address or official email address within 7 calendar days from the date and opening bids. For bid modifications, ang bid modification po must be submitted before the deadline of submission of bids. The bidder shall not be allowed to retrieve its original bid. The bidder shall submit new bid equally sealed, properly identified, linked to its original bid, and marked as modification. For withdrawal bids naman po, letter of withdrawal must be received prior to the deadline for submission and receipt of bids. For bids withdrawn, the interval between the deadline and expiration of bid validity, the bid security shall be forfeited. For electronic submission, bidders shall send another bid equally secured, properly identified, and labeled as modification on the one previously submitted. The time indicated in the latest bid receipt page generated shall be official time of submission. Yan po, meron pa tayong 2 modes of submission of bid. A bidder may opt only one mode lang po sa pag-submit ng bid, either manual submission of bid or electronic submission of bid. For manual submission of bid po, yan po ay sa Bank Secretariat Office, DPWH Sorsogon 2nd DEO, Barangay Payawin, Gubat, Sorsogon. And for electronic bids naman po, yan po ay sa electronic bids _Sorsogon 2 at dpwh.gov.ph. Requirements of bidding documents. Ang mga documents pong ito ay nakapost po sa DPWH websites and sa PhilJEPs to aid our contractors in preparation of their bids. Ang mga documents pong ito ay instruction to bidders, general conditions of contract, special conditions of contract, bid data sheet, specifications, drawings, bill of quantities, and sample forms. Eligibility criteria. To be eligible to participate in the bidding of the said project, a bidder must be a duly licensed Filipino citizen for sole proprietorship, partnerships duly organized under the laws of the Philippines, and of which at least 60% of the interest belongs to the citizens of the Philippines. Corporations duly organized under the laws of the Philippines, and of which at least 60% of the outstanding capital stock belongs to the citizens of the Philippines. Cooperatives duly organized under the laws of the Philippines, or persons, entities forming themselves into a joint venture as per section 23.4.2.1 of the IR. Foreign bidders may be eligible to participate in accordance with the guidelines issued by the GPPB as per section 23.4.2.2 of the IR. Bidder must have a valid PICAP license, must have a single largest completed contract that is similar to the contract to be bid, at least 50% of the ABC. Contractors under small A, small B categories without similar experience, provided that the cost of the contract to be bid is not more than the ARCC of registration. Bidders must have an NFCC at least equal to the ABC. Eligibility and technical documents to be submitted by the bidders. We encourage our bidders to enroll in our civil work application to facilitate the fast evaluation of their eligibility. However, if they have not yet enrolled in the CWA, these are the documents they have to submit. Number 1, PhilJab Certificate of Registration, Mayor's Permit, TTI Tax Clearance, PICAP License and Registration, Statement of Ongoing Government and Private Contracts, Statement of the Single Largest Completed Contract, Computation of the NFCC, Valid Joint Venture Agreement if applicable. Bid security in a form of cash or money check, bank draft, bank guarantee, surety bond, or yung bid securing declaration. Please be guided po ulit ng GPPB Resolution Number 16, 2020 sa format po ng ating bid securing declaration. Project requirements, organizational chart for the contract to bid, list of contractors' key personnel, list of contractors' major equipment units, owned, lease, or other purchase agreement, omnibus sworn statement. Please be guided po ng GPPB Resolution Number 16, 2020 sa format po ng ating omnibus sworn statement. Eligibility requirements. Class A legal documents, PhilJab Certificate of Registration. Required po na dapat platinum membership na po ang ating mga contractors. As per GPPB Resolution Number 15, 2021, lifting the suspension on the implementation of mandatory submission of PhilJab Certificate of Platinum Registration and membership in competitive and limited source bidding. Kailangan po, meron na po kayong PhilJab Certificate of Registration, valid PhilJab Certificate of Registration of Platinum Membership. Class A, technical documents, statement of ongoing contracts, statement of single largest completed contract, valid PICAP license, special PICAP license for joint venture agreement. Class A, financial documents, computation of the NFCC. Class B, documents in case of joint venture. Yung joint venture agreement po ninyo dapat po naka-attach. Legal eligibility requirements, Class A, recently expired mayor's business permit shall be accepted together with the OR. For renewed permit shall be submitted as a post-qualification requirements in accordance with Section 34.2 of the 2016 IRR. So kung recently expired po ang inyong mayor's permit, kailangan po attach po ang inyong OR, pero during post-qualification po, dapat po makaprovide na po kayo ng valid mayor's permit. Submission of BRR receipt for renewal or tax clearance will not suffice in lieu of a valid tax clearance requirement. Submission of provisionary tax clearance issued by the DIR for bidding purposes is not acceptable. Form of tax clearance as per GPPB Resolution Number 1, 2014. So kailangan po, dapat po may valid po kayong tax clearance. Hindi po pwede yung special na tax clearance for bidding process, hindi rin po yung for renewal na tax clearance. Dapat po valid na tax clearance. Eligibility and technical requirements. Statement of all ongoing government and private contracts. The statement of the bidder of all ongoing government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started, if any, whether similar or not similar in nature and complexity to the contract to be bid. The statement of all include all information required in the bidding documents. The single largest completed contract should be similar to the contract to be bid or has the same major categories of work. The single largest completed contract's value should be at least 50% of the ABC to be bid upon adjustment of current prices using PSA consumer price indices. Contractors under small a and small b categories without similar experience to the contract on the contract may participate if the cost of the contract to be bid is not more than the allowable range of contract cost or ARCC of the registration. Must have a valid TCAP license, special TCAP license for joint venture, registered for the type and cost of contract to be bid, should be valid at the time of the deadline for the submission and opening of bids. Bid security, a bidder, mamimili lang po kayo dyan. If you want to use cash or manager's check, bank draft, bank guarantee, irrevocable letter of credit, issued by a universal or commercial bank, 2% po yan ng ABC. Surety bond naman po, callable upon demand, 5% of the ABC. Or you can use po yung bid securing declaration. Please be guided na lang po ng GPPB Resolution number 16 sa format po ng ating bid securing declaration. Yan po ang sample ng ating bid securing declaration. Okay? Omnibus sworn statement po, please be guided ulit ng ating GPPB Resolution number 16, 2020. Lahat pong dapat yan nakalagay po sa inyong omnibus sworn statement. Any omission po will be cause for your disqualification. For financial envelope, dapat ang laman po yan ay bid form, summary bid prices in the bill of quantities, detailed estimates, including a summary sheet indicating the unit prices of materials, labor, and equipment, cash flow by quarter, month, and payment schedule. Other documents required in the bidding documents. So, for the detailed evaluation of bid naman po, unless the instruction to bidders specifically allows partial bids, those not providing all the required items shall be considered non-responsive. Placing no price is considered non-responsive. Specifying a zero dash, it means it is offered for free. The purpose po ng ating bid evaluation is to determine the lowest calculated bid, establish correct calculated prices for bids, ranking calculated total bid prices for the lowest to highest. Ang method po natin is a discretionary criterion shall be used which shall include consideration of completeness of bids and minor arithmetical corrections. Results of the abstract. Results shall be contained in the abstract of bids. For the detailed evaluation of bid, in case of discrepancies between bid prices in figures and bid prices in words shall prevail. Total price per item versus unit price for the item times the quantity. The unit price for the item times the quantity shall prevail. Total stated total price versus the actual sum of the unit prices component items. The actual sum of the unit prices of component items shall prevail. Unit cost in the detailed estimate versus the unit cost in the bill of quantities. The unit cost in the bill of quantities shall prevail. Reminders lang po sa ating mga contractor of the no-contract rule, prohibition on communication with bidders from bid evaluation until award of contract. Purpose qualification naman po, ang purpose po natin is determine whether the lowest calculated bid complies with and it's responsive to all requirements and conditions specified in the bidding documents to be declared as the lowest calculated responsive bid. Ang method po natin is a non-discretionary pass or fail criterion which shall be used to verify, validate, and ascertain all statements and documents submitted by the lowest calculated bid.
Okay? Since we have no other matters to be discussed, this preview conference for